with Michael Losier, the best-selling author of The Law of Attraction. How exciting! And this is actually the session 2 of the Deliberate Attraction series. And Michael is coaching me on attracting the Juicy Living Tour, which is a 12-month tour, my biggest dream ever. And I really want to put all the forces of the universe and all the magic to make this happen. So, hello, Michael.
You called in the magic maker.
Yes. Clap, clap, clap.
A couple of my friends have nicknamed me a star maker.
Ooh, I like that.
All right. So, yesterday we talked about, manifesting and resetting vibrations, and that everything that we attract is because of your vibration, everything. And if you keep getting the results that you're getting, it meant that you were sending the same vibration and you didn't like what you were getting. You wanted to change. Yeah. And the only way to change results is to change vibration. So we did a little bit of that yesterday. So before, and I'm intuitively knowing what today's subject is going to be to move you to the next step, but I know
things have changed.
Well, they had to have changed, because you know why? Because that's the rule. Law of attraction says when you change vibration, you change results. So that there's no way that you could not have experienced some new things in your vibration because you summoned it with your vibration. So I don't need a crystal ball to know that you've attracted stuff. I just want to know what it was, because I know the rule. You get what you.
Well, a person, potential investor that I was supposed to meet is not coming to Chicago right now and delaying his trip. Now he's going to be here when I'm not going to be here. So I felt, like I'm like, okay, things are changing and evolving, and, I'm probably going to meet him when the time is right.
Yes.
So this is where it's at. However, Sharon and Lynn that are working on attracting themselves sponsors, and really they're the one making the phone calls and etc., are very excited, have put a strategy together, and are starting with their plan.
Yes.
So the team is at work.
Okay, good. Be ideal if all the team had the same vibration around what they're looking for.
Yeah.
Because it'll reflect in the results. Well, I guess I'm going to talk about two things today, and one is to kind of acknowledge your process. We're starting with the word responsibility. Mm-hmm. We're responsible for things that we attract, but I'm going to give you a Michael Losier slice and dice of the word responsibility, and you proved it with your results that you got yesterday. When the guy said he can't meet you right away, it's like, you didn't throw a fit and stomp around the house. And so you had responsibility. And here's Michael Losier's definition: the ability to respond. So you were at a choice about how you were going to respond to that news. Was it like, oh, why is this happening to me? Boo-hoo, right? All the negative stuff. Or you said, okay, it's not a match at this time. I mean, ideally, we would be grateful and say, oh, I'm glad it didn't come yet because it's not ready for me.
That's how I felt. That's exactly how I felt. I felt like things are shifting and moving, and this means right now it's not the appropriate time. Yet we were in communication. There was no breakdown in communication with him. And, he knows clearly my objectives. So, I feel like, there's another piece of the puzzle that might be needed so that it's that successful, and it resonates with all the things, that I listed on there.
Yes.
Maybe I was not quite ready to deliver that myself.
Well, the challenge is that you put it out there vibrationally, and as you start to get it, you start to take a look to see how much it fits, and you might be a little scared or nervous or whatever, but we don't know what the reason is, but it's not an ideal match, which is okay. And that's what responsibility is. It's like, I have the ability to respond to that, and it's okay. It's not a match.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Very cool. Very freeing.
Yes. So the other message, which is very similar to responsibility, is accountability. And it's about you being accountable for everything that you attract. Of course, I'm going to slice and dice the word accountability, and it means your ability to account for why you're getting what you're getting. So the first time we met, you were talking about your vibration around your ideal sponsors, and you took accountability for that. In other words, you had the ability to account for why you attracted good things. You would say, wow, I attracted this. This is because of me. I have the ability to say I attracted that if it was positive. And when it's negative, we have the same ability. Matter of fact, the answer is the same. So the notion here is that even me, Michael Losier, attracts negative things. But what do I do with it? Well, I have an accountability. In other words, I can have the ability to account for why I attracted it. And then I can say, that's not what I don't want, do what I want. So I can observe it briefly. So, this contrast that you've experienced and this negativity that we experience is really important. It helps you get clear. So I just want to acknowledge how you managed the in match, because most people would go home and boohoo that it wasn't a match. And you said no. So what I'd like to do is to have you tell me what matched about this sponsor. And in doing so, you're going to give it attention, energy, and focus. And in doing so, you're going to hold the vibration of the way you want it to be. And I'm holding my hands up like there's a circle around us, right? And law of attraction, checking. So let's launch the vibration before the meeting of what is your ideal. So what was ideal about this last prospect?
Yeah, I could get my clarity list maybe.
No, you don't need to.
Okay, one of the things is that they're the one that contacted me. So that's
say yes. Yeah, say yes if you love that.
I love that. I love it that the sponsor came to me.
Don't you love it when people just contact you? I love that happens.
I love
that. So very good. They contacted you. What else?
And they have the cash and the investments and are large and big. And so that's there.
Yeah, and you know what the other thing I like about them is that they sponsor people.
They sponsor people.
They take money aside to sponsor people. Say yes if you love that.
I love that. And
they intend to sponsor people.
And what else? Their product is also aligned with and their product and vision is totally aligned with the tour. They have products of the future, and they're innovative. They're like 3 steps forward, and so it's bringing information which is fully aligned with what I'm doing.
Yeah. So you're in vibrational harmony with the sponsor. Nice.
With the products, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, remember, law of attraction's eavesdropping on your vibration right now, and you know what it's finding in your vibration? It's finding that they contacted you, and they have money to invest, and they intend to have sponsors, and you're in vibration. Right now, law of attraction's catching that, and it doesn't know why you're sending it. It's just matching it. So the whole idea is celebrating the closeness of the match keeps you in the vibration of the way you want it to be, because law of attraction, checking right now, it's starting to unfold it. So this is very valuable piece to celebrate. Yes.
I mean, this is such an important point, yeah. Because otherwise we dismiss it and boom, we look at what's not there. I love that match.
Yes. Now remember, yesterday we talked a little bit about goal setting, and you were thinking, I want to have this by November 30th. Now, if that was still your goal, or whatever the date was, somewhere in your head you'd be thinking, I'm 2 more days closer to November. In other words, you would keep noticing that there's no that you haven't completed it yet.
But here's another shift that happened from our conversation, is that now I'm clear that, and I have a tendency to rush and put dates early, and then I diminish myself, and this is how kind of, not I sabotage, but then I get, okay, now we have to come to an agreement. And therefore, it's not fully matured. So now what I love is that I'm taking the time, and I even told them, I will align, if your date is February or March, that's fine.
Yes.
Because of the commitment I have for this project to be big and for this project to be launched, and this and that. So I find myself not as attached with the date right now.
Yes. So what's in the space right now is that all the energy's lining up.
Yeah.
Right. So sometimes you hear about people talking about procrastinating. Not that you're doing it, but procrastination just means you're waiting for everything to happen that needs to happen, because by the time you go to do what you said you're going to do, you have all the things that you need.
Oh, I've also attracted another flight ticket, because I just got a flight ticket right now from France, which I've attracted last week. But I've just attracted another one to go to France on the 17th of November, so mid-November.
Nice.
So this is really cool. So, I mean, things are bubbling up, and it's perfect, because this was the time where I wanted to start the tour. So I feel like right now there is some other things that are coming there to fit it seems like, it might be a time for me to go to France for a few months in November, possibly. We'll see.
Yes.
I don't know.
So would it be helpful for you if you continued to meet in alignment sponsors?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So I think that's what I'd like to work on today. You know how I know your vibe is good around the sponsorship? I mean, I don't have a, you're not plugged into me, but there's a giveaway that tells me why your vibe is good around this. What do you think it is?
I speak positively about it.
Yes, it's the words you're using. But the words are also congruent with the vibration, right? Remember at the seminar, people could say something positive, but could it feel negative, right? So you're congruent, and you're saying, yeah, this feels good. I'm waiting. I'm not date sensitive. This is a good time. Like you're acknowledging why it's a good time, thing that it hasn't happened, which is completely different than 4 days ago, right? Yeah, so this is real ownership of the process here.
Yes.
Yes. Now, one thing that I want to cover with you, and I know it's going to be a helpful point for our friends that are listening, and I want to thank them for the nice comments they've been making about you and I. It's humbling, and I forget that they're eavesdropping, but they are. So that's why we had to fix our hair and everything today.
So, where's your scarf, Michael? I told you to put the scarf on today.
Yeah, it's the red scarf. When I fly on airplanes, I always know who the head person is. It's usually a woman, like the head of the cabin crew, because she always has the scarf. Did you know that? The head person wears the scarf. So if you need something, find the woman with the scarf.
Yeah, well, people say I'm a British Airways stewardess when I walk with this around town.
I know sometimes when I'm at my seminars and I'm out in the lobby waiting to go in, people think I'm security. Can you tell me where the washrooms are? And they don't know it's me until I'm on stage, so it's funny. Okay, so the point that I want to make today is about how quickly it is for us to attract information. Yeah. Why do I know that? There's a difference between you attracting a sponsor and you attracting information about a sponsor. What do you think is different in those two scenarios? And use the word vibration in your answer. Attracting information about a sponsor or attracting the sponsor?
Well, it's in vibrational alignment, I guess.
Okay, tell me more about that.
The information about the sponsor,
that's definitely in alignment to the sponsor. Think about the model for attraction. Decide what you want, give it attention, and allow it. And remember, allowing was what? The absence of? Doubt. So if you put the vibes out to attract information and the vibes out to attract a sponsor, which one has the least resistance to it?
The information.
Bring it on. I can have matter of fact, all the contacts and information and opportunities. I love all that.
Right.
You can say that without the charge, a little bit of, there's hardly any doubt, but it's like, I'd like it sponsored by November 1st. And then you can feel, then it gets really, really heavy.
Yeah.
So that's what I'd like us to build on today is just information about contacts.
Okay.
Now, I know in the last two things we worked on, we actually built the contrast list to go to clarity. That was really, really helpful. But today, I just want you to intuitively just tell me what would be some ideal what kind of contacts would you like?
The top notch. I want to speak to the directors of marketings and the decision maker and the top the top people in the company, the top executives.
Okay, and what about them would be ideal? So the top people, the top directors, because
they're open and they're
open
and they're looking for these type of sponsorships.
And you've defined your ideal sponsor, so it could be meeting anybody through anybody, and it could be on the plane, and it could be anywhere. We're not going to say where it needs to be. Just I'm open to meeting you can call them leads or contacts or opportunities or information. Just bring it on. I'm open to receiving lots of that. Yeah. Matter of fact, I have a file folder ready to put it in. I have a container ready to put all this information that's going to come to me in here. Yeah. Information come very easily. How does that feel?
I like that. I really like that. Yeah. I didn't thought of that to expand it to I can meet a sponsor at any time, anywhere.
Yes, and you've already defined your ideal sponsor, so now it's just about just information. It could be something you see on the internet or a piece of mail, or you walk by a book in a bookstore. So just be really conscious. Your requests are being answered all the time, and everything that you're attracting is something that you summoned already. So it is about being curious, but it's also, I'm going to tell you what it's not. It's not about picking the first thing that comes to you. People say, oh, wow, I did my ideal boyfriend last night and I have a date tonight. It must be him. I said, no, but you have to go on the date to find out how close you're getting, right? Mm-hmm. And then you come back and say, oh, that was a pretty good date. It's like the internet. When you do a search on the internet, the first document that comes back is pretty close, but you have to open it to find out how close your search is. And then you resubmit your search if it's not perfect. Mm-hmm. And I see too many people taking the first thing that comes along. But the first thing, in my opinion, is usually enough to give you some decisions about how close that's getting. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yes.
So we can attract that entire list. It's possible to attract exactly what we want.
So can I attract my entire list? What's that?
It's like, whoa, I still have, I guess, some doubts about that.
Yes. Do you have any evidence in the past where you attracted things exactly the way you wanted them?
Yeah.
Yeah. So is that possible?
Yeah.
Yeah. And sometimes we say,
at least quite close to it. So the core of it was there. Yeah.
Yes. And then sometimes it had more than you asked for. Is that okay?
Yeah, most of the time.
Oh, funny. We don't complain about that, do we?
No, I don't.
It's 10 times better. But if it was missing one thing, we get in a big snit about it. I wanted something that had 12 elements, and I only got 11. I got 10 more that I didn't ask for, so it's all part of the balance. People say, oh, I want a red Corvette. Well, would you cry if I gave you a black one? I mean, really? Can you be a little flexible on that? So that's what I'm saying to you is just have fun with all that and really keep noticing. That's your job.
Okay.
And also, I want you to start, because you understand the rule. The longer you include it in the vibration, the more law of attraction can keep unfolding it. So it's really about monitoring your thoughts and, the whole notion about the buses. Have you done research on?
Actually, that's something that came to my mind is to mock it up. I've asked I want to put a wrap. I'm putting a wrap on the bus, and with the Juicy Living tour and the sponsors of the logo. And the person that I contacted a month ago on the wraps already came back to me and said, so how are you moving forward? I said, yeah, we're moving forward, but I would love to have a mock-up, for free from your company to show what it looks like. And in my mind, anyway, I know how to use Photoshop, so I think I'm just going to do that because it makes it so much more, real and there. It's exciting.
Well, what if we attracted somebody that would step forward and say, hey, I'm really good at doing that. I know how to wrap anything on a bus on a picture.
Well, talking about that, I would love to attract somebody to do the logo of the Juicy Living tour because the person that was supposed to do it dropped.
Yeah, so they're not a match.
So they're not a match. And that person was supposed to do a funny face, me with a bus and the map of the U.S. and the cowboy hat and kind of like a fun little cartoonish.
Yes.
And that's kind of the spirit, I think.
So what is your vibrational job description for your ideal graphic person?
I don't know.
Well, guess what we're going to do today?
Okay.
Yeah. A lot of people, because I have two best-selling books, they're both self-help books. People always ask me, what should I do first? Well, I've asked this question so many times, I actually have a little audio clip with the 12 main pieces of writing a book. And you know what the first piece is? Get the book cover done.
That's exciting.
Even before you do the table of contents. And they say, well, why did you do that? Well, when I was writing Law of Attraction, it took me like a year and a half. I got the cover done first. I put it on my website. And when I would be done a teleclass or an interview, people would go to my website and would say, click here to be notified when the book is ready. I had 1,500 people in 1 year say, let me know when your book is ready. I got the books printed. The printer called and said, we're shipping 10,000 books to your house. Yeah. I sent an email out, and I sold 2,200 books overnight. So get the cover done. A lot of people think it's important to visualize the bus, but Law of Attraction doesn't respond to pictures. It responds to your excitement about that.
That's exciting.
Whether it's the real bus or a picture of a bus, and maybe have a contest, like make it so I'm going to say it again. Be in the energy of the bus.
Right.
And that's by thinking about it and looking at it and daydreaming and talking about it. That's how things get manifested. So,
well, each time I see a bus now here, I mean, my vibe just goes. Whoop.
good. Okay, let's take a blank piece of paper again.
A blank piece. Yes.
You know, even my friends know to take a piece of paper if we have a coffee, if we're going for coffee, they always bring pen and paper with them. See, I cannot not support people. Am I influencing your vibration today?
Yes, you are.
That's my highest desire.
Thank you.
So I make sure that I do things that fulfill that need. So when I have opportunity to influence people, I always say yes. Okay, at the top of the page, write my ideal graphic artist.
Yeah.
I want you to pre-number 1 to 6 on the left-hand side. Oh, draw a line down the middle of the page.
Yeah.
On the left side, number 1. Now, for those people listening, do you want to tell them what this process is for?
I would love you to explain again.
Okay, good. This exercise is to help you get clear about what you want, because I asked you what your ideal graphic artist was, and you said, I don't know. Perfect. I love that answer. This is a worksheet that's in my book, Law of Attraction. It's called Clarity Through Contrast. We're going to find out the contrast that you've been getting. And what's another word for contrast? Negative things.
Negative is what I don't like about it.
Yes. So I'm going to just interview you a little bit. So you and I are going to. I want to find the vibe about your graphic artist. Do you think you have one?
Yeah.
A vibe? Yeah, we all do about everything. So I'm going to do a little vibrational meter reader test. You know, I'm going to poke you with my little vibrational meter reader because I want to find out what your vibes are about your ideal graphic artist. So quickly, in the top of your head, tell me 5 things that you've experienced in the past or currently that you don't like about your graphic artist. And this isn't personal. This is just things that you've experienced.
That they don't give the projects on time. They're not reliable.
Okay. Number 1, don't deliver on time.
That.
And number 2, they're not reliable. Mm-hmm. Are you writing these down?
No.
Oh, really? Would you like me to do that for you and fax it to you and make it really easy?
Yeah, I would love that.
Number 1 is they don't deliver on time. Number 2 is they're not reliable. What else don't you like?
That they are, they could be too expensive or not open to barter.
That's 2. So the number 3 is they're too expensive. Number 4 is that they're not into bartering. What else don't you like? Maybe not your current one, but think
they can be not stuck, but they're creative, but they impose their own ideas on the project. You know, they influence it.
Can we say that they're not flexible with design?
They are, but yeah,
so
around
tell me
something
again. Tell me your words. I'm just judging myself.
They're too controlling.
Too controlling. Okay, great. Have you had any in the past that are not good communicators?
Yeah.
Let's write that, because if you had it in the past, then it's part of your blueprint. So not good communicators. What else?
Yeah, and also they might not be artistic, because here I would love something really out there and different and quite cartoonish. So they might not have all those skills. You know, the corporate looks and the fun, like the talent and the skills to, I mean, put up a powerful logo and message.
Okay, so I translated that for you. They're not playful with their artistic skills.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm hearing in your contrast, you want them to be playful.
Yeah.
Well, that was 7 things. So, someone's at the door. You know who it is? It's the vibrational doctor delivering your vibration report. Can I read it for you? Your results are...
Knock, knock.
Knock, knock. Come here. So, this just came from the vibrational doctor. Here's your vibration around graphic artists. They don't deliver on time. They're not reliable. They're too expensive. They're not into bartering. They're too controlling. They're not good communicators, and they don't have playful artistic skills. Is that what you want?
Uh-uh.
Is that what you're vibrating?
Uh-huh.
Sure is ugly. It sure is ugly. Okay, so I want everyone to see this for a minute. What we've done is on the left-hand side, we built the list of what you don't want. And, very good. Oh, your writing's better than mine. So now we want to go to the clarity side. How are we going to get clear from that contrast? So the first one, it says they don't deliver on time. How are we going to birth clarity from that contrast? What are you going to ask yourself?
What do I want?
Okay, I'm going to read it and you tell me what you want. They don't deliver on time. What do you want?
They're reliable.
Okay, that's the next one.
They're on time. They're on time.
They're on time. Number 2, they're reliable. Now remember, let's cross off number 1 and 2, the negative side. We don't want to observe that any longer. So they don't deliver on time, cross that off. They're not reliable, cross it off. They're too expensive. What do you want?
They are on budget.
Okay, they're on budget. Cross off too expensive. They're not into bartering. What do you want?
I mean, ideally, more than being on budget, I would love to be somebody that is involved with this. You see, I would love a graphic designer that can not just do the logo, but that would be involved ongoingly with everything that we're going to do, and that will receive themselves, some publicity and interviews and all kind of stuff.
Okay, so your whole package, everything you need. So this isn't just a logo person. This is your graphic team member. Can you write that down? My ideal graphic team member.
Yeah.
I have a team. I don't employ them full time, but I have a lawyer, and I have an accountant, I have a bookkeeper, I have a graphic artist. I have all those people. They're not full time, but they're still my team.
Yeah, I used to have that too.
I still depend on these people. They're part of my team. And I pay them for exchange of what they're good at.
Yeah.
Now, not the bartering. I want you to begin the sentence with the word embrace.
Embrace bartering?
Embrace bartering.
Yeah, that doesn't mean ongoingly, but to start with, so that we can have the logo now and the things, and then when the sponsor comes, then they're paid member team.
Very good. They're too controlling. What do you want?
That they're open and creative.
Open.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're your words. You're allowed to say that. Open and creative. Number 6, they're not good communicators. What do you want?
They're great communicators.
They're great communicators.
And clear.
And they're clear communicators. They don't really have an edge. Some of them didn't, your past ones, didn't have that playful edge to match your energy. What would you want?
Playful, outgoing, visionary. I mean, they just have it. They got it.
Okay. So
I'm gonna write "got it."
They got it. And you know what? You know what that means. It has a feeling. Somebody else might write "got it" and doesn't feel good. What is the rule? If it feels good, say it. Yeah. So can you tell me now? So earlier I asked you what your ideal graphic artist was, and you didn't know. So what is your ideal graphic artist now?
My ideal graphic artist team member is actually on time, and he is or she is reliable and on budget, embraces barters, and is open and creative. He or she has great communication skills, and they're clear. They're playful, ongoing. Actually, I love how playful and outgoing and visionary they are. And they got it.
And yes, and they know all the technology, all the social technology, and they come to you with progressive good ideas. So let's do our little test again. We did a vibrational report. We found out what your vibration was about the words. We went from what you didn't want to what you do want. Now you have a new list. You just read the list. Would you say your vibration changed?
Yeah.
Yes. And just by talking about that, you just gave it attention. And what's the rule of law of attraction? Whatever you give your attention to. So we just set the energy in motion around this.
Awesome.
Now, what have you been doing with the last 2 clarity statements you came up with?
I have actually started to type them as you suggested.
Into the
I was doing this, and I'm going to do it for all of them.
Yes.
But I have it here, and it's my ideal sponsor presentation and meeting. I am confident and deserving. I love how resourceful I am, how knowledgeable I am while presenting to sponsors the Juicy Living Tour. My passion, clarity, and focus makes them tremendously impressed, inspired, and influenced by this presentation. I am articulate. My communication skills are beyond physical. It is energetic and vibrational as well. We consequently co-create an abundant opportunity and decide to collectively envision and implement the GC Living Tour. The tour starts on time.
Okay, very good. Now, I'm going to give you a beginning sentence just to kind of give it a frame. Now, I could tell by your body and your smile that all feels good, but I just want to give it some context.
Yeah.
And in my book, I talk about the desire statement, so I'm going to give you the opening paragraph. So remember, it's the words you use that law of attraction is responding to, how you feel about them, not the word, but how you feel about the word. So here's the opening sentence. I'd like you to write this. I'm in the process of unfolding and orchestrating all that I need to do, know, or have. I'm in the process of attracting all that I need to do, know, or have to attract my ideal.
Do or have to attract my ideal.
And whatever the subject was, my ideal sponsor.
Yeah. Sponsor presentation meeting.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what's the first sentence after that?
I am confident and deserving.
Yes. I'd like you to put in front of this, I love knowing that I am.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. So
Good.
I am in the process of unfolding and orchestrating all that I need to do, know, or have to attract my ideal sponsor presentation meeting. I love knowing that I am confident and deserving. Da, da, da.
Yeah, we're going to change the beginning a little bit just for you. Say law of attraction is in the process of unfolding and orchestrating. Law of attraction is in the process of unfolding and orchestrating.
Law of attraction, yeah, is in the process of unfolding and orchestrating. Oh, I like that.
Okay, good. You see, I want to talk briefly for your purposes and people listening about how this is different than an affirmation.
Yeah.
What would be an affirmation for this? You would say, I have my ideal sponsor. Is that an affirmation?
Yeah, but I never really liked those. I never really...
So even though you're told to say it's stated in the current tense, when you state it, it didn't feel good. Why? Because it wasn't true.
Yeah.
If you say law of attraction is in the process of unfolding and orchestrating, you know just by telling me about it, you gave it attention, energy, and focus, which launched the vibration and the energy. So now we're getting it's the celebration time.
That's exciting then.
Yes. Good. Did you leave the price tag on the bottom of your cup?
I did, because this is, yeah, I have. Not the price tag, but the scanning, yeah.
I got a quick little story. When we were kids, my sister Diane and my other sister Denise, we were at a church, we were at a wedding in the church, and this woman that sat, and it was a Catholic church, so the woman that sat in front of us kneeled down, and at the bottom of her shoe, she had 2 big red sale tickets. And we start laughing, and my mother and father had a fit. It was during the wedding, and they made us sit apart. But we every time she kneeled down, we see those 2. So then we eventually showed my mother. She thought it was funny too. But okay, so tell me what your big learning was today. What was your aha moment or your insight moment? What felt good?
That I can have anything that I want. It's for me, it's more little bits, like right now, restructuring that sentence, knowing that not just, the thing too is that it's actually like going from attracting just a person to do a logo, but now it's actually becoming a team member. And I really like that. And that's really totally aligned with the magnitude of the project anyway. And so it's amazing how it creates more and more,
Yes, I just got another message for you. And the message is that you're preparing the infrastructure of this business. Because right now you don't have say for example, Buddy from the UK called, you know what? You don't even have a graphic designer yet. So right now come here, you don't even have a graphic designer yet. So what you're doing right now is you're putting the infrastructure in place, right? That means I got a graphic design team, I know the logo. So this experience is prompting you to really take some action steps to build it as if, just to get prepared as if.
Yeah, and another, I guess, big area where I really need to shift my vibration is around the team and the because I co-created, like, you know, the structure, the business itself, and Sharon has been supporting me since the beginning, and I want to, you know, create potentially a business with her around that. So there's a lot of different things there that needs to be sorted out, because it's quite stressful between, you know, the percentage and the pays and the and the clarity on the company and the structure and all of that kind of thing.
All that's important to be looked after. So you'd like to attract some information about that and do it really well. Yeah. And the other thing that's been really important for me, when I was where you were at, when I was first, not that you're at there, but you're just starting the Juicy Tour. So when I was starting pieces in my business, I wanted to do everything, from including answering my phone.
Yeah, but I'm done with that. I had my business for 8 years doing it all myself, and now Sharon is one of the person that is really helping me to just, now it's about a team. I know I cannot do this anymore where I want to bring it on my own. I'm
so you know what she's bringing to the team.
Yeah.
She knows what you're bringing to the team. Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't look too convinced about that.
Yeah, no, but I do need to gain clarity around that too.
Good. Have you heard of that? My expression.
It's stressful sometimes. Right now, it is stressful. When we communicate, I would like it to be smooth again, and us to be in full vibrational harmony, which I don't believe we are right now.
Right. Is that because she's noticing it's not done, or she doesn't know how to participate, or?
Because we both have our ideas, like we're strong, you know, powerful ladies, and so sometimes it's like, and I don't feel heard, so.
Is she part of the tour or part of the business?
She's part of the business. She would stay over in Atlanta.
Okay, so an important thing for an exercise for you guys might be to find out what each person's bringing to the project. I know that you know a lot of things, but that'll help you mind your business, right? In other words, that's what she does. And, you know, I have two assistants, my sister Diane and Louise, and they're both bringing something different to the business and pieces that I don't want to do. And that's the rule in my business. You only do it if you like doing it. If you don't like doing it, then we'll find somebody that does. So everybody really likes what they're doing. And we had to go through a little bit of changes around that, taking something from Diane that she did and giving it to somebody else. And at the end of the day, she was... So remember in my seminar, I don't know if I talked about that, or maybe you and I have talked about it, is the little Lilou and the big Lilou. Have I told you about those before?
No,
just
really.
Like,
not enough.
Yeah, it's like there's a big Michael and a little Michael. So the little Michael doesn't want to say anything and doesn't want to ruffle feathers and doesn't want to hurt somebody's feelings. And the big Michael is bigger and stands in his power and says, so we need to have a conversation, and here's what I'd like to see happen differently. I mean, but the little Michael would be scared to do that. So I had to become the big Michael when I made some changes with the people in my business just to make sure they're doing what they love to do. And in your case, you're going to have to be the big Lulu and take the leadership and say, so let's have a meeting. Let's talk about all the tasks and put them in a column, one for me, one for you. And, you know, and part of you is not micromanaging everything and really trusting, you know, you have to be on the same goal. You know, here's the goal. You have to have the same vision here. Sometimes I always compare Celine Dion and her husband. You know, they have the same goal. Mm-hmm. His goal is her goals. So what a great team that they have. Not to mention how brilliant. It's funny, people always ask me, if you could interview anybody, who would it be? You know who it would be? It would be Renee, her husband. Mm-hmm. Brilliant. He's just brilliant. So, and I like that about them. They had the same goal, and same with my assistants and we have the same goal, and it's really easy.
Yeah. I guess we need to gain clarity too on who's doing what. It's at the time where it's this way. There's no, because that's the problem is when there is, a task or.
Yeah, it's time to double click on that. Like right now, it's just a one-liner, business. It's time to double click and open it up and say, okay, we need to, things are moving. And she needs to know what's going on with you right now, because she could be encouraged by your newfound energy here. Right?
She's going to see this too.
Oh, great. Say, what's her name?
Sharon.
Hey, Sharon. Hello. So what's really important here now is infrastructure. Because I'm going to back up a little bit. When my book Law of Attraction came out, it was doing really, really, really well. And then Oprah had interviewed the secret people. And then I knew that, the tipping point, I knew my book was going to tip and get to the masses. And it was actually through The Secret, when people loving The Secret and wanted to find out how to do it, they'd look at my book. And I was ready for that. So when I got my first order from Amazon that said, you sold 1,400 books every day this week, it wasn't a panic. I knew how to order books. I knew where to ship them. So I had all the infrastructure in place. But I couldn't have been a self-published author out of my basement and get a call from Amazon like that. I know that we say we'd like that, but if you're vibrationally not ready, you can't attract it. Yeah. So today was really about you stepping back from having it. You couldn't have this done by November 1st. You don't have a bus yet or a logo. You see how it's making sense? So now it's time to bring in the business out, get your business partner involved again. Yeah. Someone's going to respond to this either by watching this or vibrationally about your ideal. And now you've got the wheels in turning. So now you're doing the business part of this as opposed to the fun of the interview. That part needs this much preparation time from you. How much? Show me in your fingers. You need that much preparation time to do your interview. And how much preparation time do you need to put the infrastructure in place? That's right. So you can let go of the interview part. That's going to be the fun and easy part for you. You're going to nail that.
Well, we nailed this week too, the whole tour and the cities and all of that. So that was a big one.
Because if I would be there, we'd have flip charts all over your house, right? I would love
that. You'll have to come on the tour. I mean, you're going to be part of this.
I love flip charts. I remember years ago, I didn't have a car for about 10 years, but before that I did. And that was like 10 years ago when I was doing, I'd go speak to anybody anywhere. I'd set up a shop at McDonald's if they'd allow me to do that, right? But you know what I always had in my trunk? A flip chart and some markers. And my friends would have hockey sticks and footballs, and I always had flip chart and colored markers. I could go anywhere with those. And I'm very visual. I love to brainstorm. I love to plot whole processes. And it'd be nice to facilitate that for you and your friend, but it's best to do it on purpose. So you can attract somebody, because it's easier for me to ask the questions of you two than you to ask of her and her. Like, I'd be the courage one to say, so what's your stand on this, or what's your position on that, and then you get to really see. Yeah.
Exciting. This is very exciting. No, it each time I feel each session opens up even more, and it contributes to that same vibration to meet this total project successful. So it's exciting. It's like building up,
It's remember I gave the analogy of an onion, right? The first layer was, I want to attract a sponsor, and we cleaned that up. Then the next thing that came up was, well, I'm going to have a sponsor meeting. So we had to unravel the onion, and now it's like, oh, what if somebody called me and said, bring your bus down? It's like, ooh, I don't get a bus. So that's part of this business part, getting all that infrastructure in place.
Yeah.
And the next time we talk, I'm going to be in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Yes. I think my hotel overlooks the Twin Towers.
So we'll have to do what we want to show that in the session.
Yes. Actually, those towers in Kuala Lumpur, they're called the Petronas towers. They're so bright that you have to shut the windows in the hotel because it's just such a glow.
Wow.
So hopefully we'll be able to have that in our next interview.
I cannot wait.
Yes. Tell me what you liked best about today.
That we had fun.
That we had fun, yes. My friend Louise, my assistant Louise, my sister Diane lives on the other part of Canada. My other assistant Louise lives here. So she comes to my place maybe 3 times a week. And we always start off our meetings by dancing.
Oh, I like that.
So I find a really freaky, groovy song. So the latest one I have, if everybody wants, it's on my...
Bring it on. Put it on.
No, I'm not going to put it on. But it's really fun. It's called Happiness. And it's really, really, really fun.
I saw that on your Facebook page.
Yeah, so if you type in, go to YouTube, type in Happiness, and type in Alexis, Alixis, Jordan, and there's lots of versions. It's really, really fun and funky. So her and I dance to that, and it gets our energy all up. And whenever she emails me, you know what she always ends her emails in? I love my job.
Oh, wow.
Don't we love that? I love my job.
Well, that's another great title. Maybe next time, instead of I lost my job and I liked it, I'll say I love my job and I'll keep it. That'll be one of the ones in the series.
Yes. I think you might have heard me say that when I was in Italy, I brought some friends with me, so they really got to experience what it's like, because most of my friends work 9 to 5, so I see them. If I want to have lunch with them, I have to go to them on their lunch break and have coffee, or sometimes at nighttime. So we hang out, but not in a day-to-day living. So they got to see what it was like to be with me for 30 days when I was in Italy, and how everything unfolded and orchestrated, and anything we need showed up. And we end up, most people, the tourists, are using tour guides and maps, and we would literally say, okay, here's what we want to attract today. And people would come up to us on the street and say, what are you guys looking for? What do you need help? Like, it just happened over and over and over again.
What do you do when you wake up? Like, the first thing when you wake up? Do you actually, read anything or focus on something? Or
no.
That's it. You're in that vibration. You decide to be in that vibration and boom?
Well, I'm rarely in a bad mood or cranky or irritated. Rarely. And if I am, I know how to get out of it. So that's the important piece. And it's okay to be ticked off and angry and disappointed. It's not, they're valid feelings, but I know that because my vibration is so high that any little dip to it would affect me. So I'm pretty selfish. I like to keep my vibration high. Selfish meaning self-care. So
yeah,
that's really important to me. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, I really enjoyed this. Thank you so much, Michael.
Okay, good. I think we did a good job, and love to hear people's comments and what they learned from having a peek into a coaching session with you and I.
Mm-hmm.
Have a good day.
Thank you. And next time we'll be broadcasting this from Malaysia and me from France. So we're gonna cover the globe. Thank you, Michael.
You're welcome. See you later.
See you later.